Another major Supreme Court decision basically saying that Trump has immunity from anything he does in office. Well, a couple of things. One is that, ironically, this is what Nixon claimed, right, about Watergate. Nixon ultimately was, he was going to be impeached by Congress. They would have, according to all the estimates, they would have voted to impeach and kick Nixon out of office or bring charges against Nixon. So Nixon left, he resigned. But he resigned for something he did as president, which was to approve of the Watergate break-in. His argument when he finally had a large-scale interview, this is well after he's president, the Frost interview, he said, anything I do as president is not illegal, basically. And Frost kept pressing him on this, and he was like, well, don't you see how that's illegal? And he says, well, when I do it, when the president does it, it's not illegal. That was the argument. And all of America was aghast that Nixon would even say that. You think you cannot do anything illegal as president ever? And now that is what the Supreme Court has ruled, is that it's not just Trump, of course. It's any president can now do anything and it not be illegal. Justice Sotomayor, who wrote the dissent, she was one of the three dissenting, said, the president is now a king above the laws. The relationship between the president and the people he serves has shifted irrevocably. In every use of official power, the president is now a king above the law. She warned of the stark long-term consequences of today's decision in a law-free zone for the president. This new official acts immunity now lies about like a loaded weapon for any president that wishes to place his own interests, his own political survival, or his own financial gain above the interests of the nation. The president of the United States is the most powerful person in the country and possibly the world. When he uses his official powers in any way, under the majority's reasoning, he now will be insulated from criminal prosecution. Let's say he orders the Navy SEAL Team 6 to assassinate a political rival. He'll be immune. He organizes a military coup to hold power. He'll be immune. He takes a bribe in exchange for a pardon. Immune. All of these things would make him immune. A few things. One is, which I'm not arguing this decision doesn't have any ramifications. It does, but I'll give you a few reasons that maybe these ramifications are not quite as severe as you might think, is because the president already largely had this. Because everything that the president does is egregious, the U.S. president at least, is egregious crimes. War crimes abound. Murdering children every single day. Just the coups that are created around the world by our CIA at the behest of the administration, or at least the tacit agreement of the administration. All of these things are major international crimes. Use of internationally illegal weapons like white phosphorus that we sent to Israel, that Israel has used. And, this is just a short list. Of course, the presidents also enrich themselves. Some of them enrich themselves right after they get out of office, such as Obama ran to Wall Street and gave a single speech to Goldman Sachs for $400,000 for one speech. And that was within a week or two of leaving office. So basically, Obama ran to get his bribe for doing good by Wall Street the moment he finished office. And these should be crimes. But none of this is really criminal. The thing that presidents are usually, that they go after them legally about is when that president has turned on the fellow ruling class. Trump causing January 6th, where he was trying to stay into office. And, whatever you feel about January 6th, the day, Trump was trying to, their phone calls and things, trying to create an alternate slate of electors to keep him in office, etc., telling Mike Pence not to approve it, all that stuff. So he was doing things to try and make sure he stayed in office. Now that upset many members of the fellow ruling elite. So it's only the moments where he goes after the fellow ruling elite that they're actually bring charges against former presidents. All the other illegal stuff they do has always been allowable by our system. So it's not that this decision doesn't mean anything, but it is less of a freak out than many people realize, because our presidents, our war criminal presidents, have been violating laws left and right. It's just not the laws. Most of those law violations are done to facilitate the U.S. empire. They're not done to upset the U.S. empire. One other note, which is just kind of funny about this, is she says, if a president organizes a military coup to hold on to power, he'll be immune now. Well, if the president has a military coup to hold on to power and succeeds, he'll be immune anyway because he'll have the military. Doesn't really matter what the courts say. That military coup was illegal. He's like, yeah, talk to the cannon that's behind you. In my imagination, I like to picture them still using a cannon. So that kind of made me happy. This, and I am sure that the MSNBC is running around with their panties in a twist, freaking out. And again, I'm not saying this is nothing. It's just our presidents are war criminals and they're massive criminals. And all of that is legal. All of that is fine all of the time, even before this decision. And I'll just throw in here the thing I always like to throw in here, which is the Supreme Court is a completely undemocratic, antiquated, disgusting organization because there's no reason you should be in a non-elected position for life. For life. Have you seen Joe Biden? Should not be doing anything for life.